how do you file your back taxes if you don't have any records? Now, this is a great question, and the majority of folks who come to us at Choice Tax Relief who need several years of back taxes prepared, they don't have their records, right? They don't have their records. Now, but that doesn't mean it's impossible to do their back taxes, okay? So there's two kinds of records, two categories of records that you need when you prepare someone's tax return. At least back tax return, where we're dealing with limited information. The first is the IRS supplied records. Okay, that's the first category. And these can easily be obtained by pulling our clients' transcripts from the IRS. We can see what the IRS has on them. We can see their wage and income documents, their W-2s, their 1099s, etc. Now, one thing that these IRS transcripts do not indicate is state information, such as if there's a difference between the state taxable wages and the federal taxable wages. Just off the top of my head, California doesn't recognize HSA tax benefits, so sometimes if someone contributes to an HSA, the federal taxable wages are lower than the California taxable wages. We also can't see the state income tax withholding from the IRS transcripts. I hope they add those at some point. So there's the IRS supplied records, which you can obtain based on your tax transcripts. Okay. The second category, and this is generally the more challenging, is the taxpayer originated or taxpayer supplied records, right? Now, this is really, becomes an issue when we have a client who has a small business or who has a rental property, right? Where, let's say they were 1099 for all their income. Yeah, the IRS may know about their gross revenue because of the 1099, but they don't know the amounts of all their expenses in the business. So what do? Well, you kind of have two options at this point. One is you can do a proper set of books, right? Hopefully you can obtain the bank statements. You can do a proper set of books, or, hire us for bookkeeping or somebody else for bookkeeping. If that's not possible, or if that is too cost prohibitive, sometimes what we will do is we will make reasonable estimates. We'll ask our client a series of questions. We may look at IRS industry standards, standard expenses for various industries as a percent of top line revenue. We look at the IRS audit guides to reconstruct figures. We do have a methodology for most industries to come up with a reasonable approximation of their business expenses. Okay, it is challenging, but it is possible to do your back tax returns without records.